We built btwb to support independent gyms. These gym owners have unique journeys that led them to create incredible communities in their towns or cities all around the world. Spotlight is going to help tell these stories and celebrate these people. All right, Tim, man, I appreciate you making this happen, brother.
Thank you, Pat.
What's the name of your gym and where are you located?
Yeah, so it's called Upside Down Fitness. We also go by UD Fit, and we're in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay, and why Upside Down Fitness? Most gym owners have a reason for the name.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think on multiple levels, right? On one level, the being a CrossFit trainer, like obviously CrossFit's more mainstream nowadays than it used to be, but still there's a lot of areas in which CrossFit is just so upside down. Like it turns people's heads around. Like, why are you
Fair
running
enough.
and lifting and jumping and doing all kinds of crazy things? And then also, actually, one of our kind of values is to really is integrity, right? And so I talk about mastering the basics. And so, like one example would be on Monday, I had the athletes out there running intervals on our running path, and it's like even within the CrossFit community, that's not super popular, right? So we try
No,
to
no, it's not.
we try to do what's effective, and I mean, you say all the time, right? Not what's popular, but what's effective, and yeah, just trying to master the basics, having integrity in what we do, more so than the appearance of things, right? So we're doing. I mean, yes, we do muscle ups and handstands and stuff like that, but it's more about really drilling down. Like, let's master the basics. Let's do those every rep with integrity, and then you can move on when you demonstrate that.
And is that what you meant when you said, because we were going back and forth, setting this up, shooting some emails back and forth, and you said that your gym is a value-based community. And is that what you meant by that, that focus on integrity, or did you mean something else as well?
No, yeah, that's part of it. So we have just three kind of big values. One is community, right, and then integrity and courage. So those are our three values. So those, as much as we love working out and physical training is beneficial, right? We know that it's for a greater purpose, right? To grow as people of character, and to make the world a better place. So that's another reason why it's kind of upside down, right? Is we're really big on elevating, hey, as much as physical training is valuable, and it is amazing, right? And it does so much for everything past your physical body. That's kind of the really the emphasis.
Chat with me a little bit about that because, over the years, I've talked to a lot of gym owners, and you know, there's not too many people that open a CrossFit gym and think, or any sort of gym for that matter, and think that they're going to become a multimillionaire and retire in the Bahamas. Most of them are doing it because they're passionate about it, they love
Right.
it, they want to help people. So that is a common theme. But I
Mhm.
will actually say, in our interaction back and forth, and the description that you gave me about UD Fit, that almost seemed like more of an emphasis than even a lot of the other gym owners that I speak with. Like it really came through in what you wrote about seeming to like really care about the community, making people
Mhm.
better, interacting with like a huge swath of society, like even more so than what I'm typically used to. And you said that your gym is in the inner city in Minneapolis. So let me know, why was that such a big deliberate focus of what you guys do?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, well, I'm going to give the quick version, and that is that this essentially. I mean, I think I emailed you this, that we just started in May, so we're like in infancy, and we've right now we've
Awesome.
got.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, so we've got just over a dozen committed athletes, and really relying on word of mouth to grow the community. But this, I kind of view this as, hey, this is an experiment. I've started a business. I'm giving it a shot. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, I've got goals and dreams. But for me, as a follower of Jesus, I'm kind of holding this experiment, saying, okay, God, this is what I'm going to do. I'm asking that you bless it. Just lead it how you want to lead it. And so most of the philosophy around engaging the community, I mean, my wife and I moved here to the inner city in Minneapolis. From actually, I was in the Army before this, so we were in Fort Campbell, Kentucky,
Okay.
and we were looking for a place like this, very international. We have in this 1.5 square mile neighborhood, we have over 100 languages represented.
That's crazy. A
It
hundred languages in a
it is.
1.5 mile area.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So yeah, we just like God led us here very clearly, and really this whole experiment about coaching others and providing accessible, solid strength and conditioning coaching to people right in the inner city is um, really it flows out of I think the way that God has led me, and I really just want to honor and pursue the vision that He's given me, which is to love people, right? To love Him and to love my neighbor as myself. So I
You
take that
feel
seriously.
safe to say you feel it's something you're called to do.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So and this is a part of it, right? And I think you know back to the whole values and community engagement, right? A big way, I guess to put it simply, right, this is not just about the gym. This is about forming a community and developing leaders within the community to
Okay.
give back to the community. Essentially, that's kind of the bottom line.
And if you're just starting this business, which is profoundly challenging for anybody who hasn't, tried to do it and scary and nerve-wracking and
Hmm.
exciting, like, well, it's both
Right,
sides of the coin all at
right.
once. Um, are you able, is the goal like to pay the bills right now through this? Do you have something on the side you're doing to keep things afloat?
Yeah, I mean, so I I was working a job as an engineer at a manufacturing plant, so it's fairly good, and we were able to save up for a while,
Okay.
and so I ended up quitting that, to pursue this, and yeah, also working with like the community, doing some community engagement stuff. So it's kind right now it's taking a lot of my attention, but there's other things going on as well.
And how, you've got this dream and this vision, which is incredible. How are you getting people to know about it? How are you getting people through the door to hopefully grow this community?
Right, right. Well, so I started kind of with a small core group, which has been around. I mean, for the past 4 years that we moved to Minneapolis, I started doing one of my workouts each week. I would just open it up to whoever in the community, and that started to grow a little bit. Neighbors, friends, coworkers, and so that group has been with me, on a once a week basis, typically over the last 3, 4 years. And so that's most of the core group now, but then they've told their friends and neighbors, and so that it's starting to grow. And I really am passionate about or believe staunchly in word of mouth from my athletes specifically, because of course anybody listening to me would say, of course you're excited about your gym. I mean, like this is your pursuit, right? Of course you think it's the best. Of course you think your program's the best and whatever and coaching. But ultimately, if it comes from one of my athletes that says, hey, I used to only be able to do 6 strict pull-ups. Now, a couple months later, I can do 10, in a row or whatever the case may be. Or like one of our athletes is 65, and the other day was his second time running in recent history. And then he told me that's more running than I've done in the last 40 years.
That's incredible.
And he showed up the next day to class too. So it didn't just break.
So maybe give us a sense of that for somebody who hasn't, and you guys are out of your garage right now?
Yes.
Very, very cool. So give us a sense of somebody who, hasn't attended one of your classes or whatnot. You mentioned the older gentleman that was just running there, but what do your athletes look like these days? Does it skew younger, older families?
Right.
I can maybe get a sense that you don't really like, don't put words in your mouth, correct me if I'm wrong, but some gyms care more about the competitive side of things, some
Sure.
gyms care less about the competitive sides. What's the vibe that you're going for with UD Fit?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, we've got mostly younger folks, like 20s and 30s. We've got one guy, he's later 40s, and then our 65-year-old, our OG. So yeah, that's kind of the spread. It's mostly men at this point. We got 2 women, and like I said, just over a dozen athletes. So it's a small sample size, right?
Sure.
But they're also, I mean, and you didn't necessarily ask about this, but just to reiterate, we've got so many nationalities represented. Actually, in the background, you can see. So there's the Uzbekistan flag. That's where I grew up, and then the U.S. flag. There's a flag for Somalia, Navajo Nation, and then over there in the corner, you can't see it quite as well as Saudi Arabia. But those are just the nations represented among the athletes in our community so far. Also
Nice.
Ecuador and Spain too. But so people are kind of coming from all over. People are coming from all over different, sports backgrounds. Some were collegiate athletes. Some are doing, like we have 3 guys doing jujitsu right now, actively involved, right, as well as doing these workouts, and then one guy boxing, one guy doing Muay Thai. Yeah, all kinds of backgrounds, and all kinds of shapes and sizes, right? So, you know, people trying to like push the limit on their performance, as well as people just trying to get to kind of a baseline fitness for life, and
Oh,
everywhere in
wow.
between. So it's pretty fun. Um,
That's very, very cool. Funny story. I've been to Uzbekistan,
really?
Tashkent. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I grew up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Spent a little bit of time there. Um,
Cool.
what is the plan? Is it to grow the membership base to a point where you have to move out of the garage, or you're gonna just pack it with as many classes? What's, I guess, your ideal vision of where this could go? Where
Right.
would you love to see it go?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think staying here as long as we can is what I would love to do. You know, so that would include doing more classes in this space,
Hmm.
but keeping them small. You know, right now I'm capping the classes at 6 athletes, so it's a lot of really hands-on for me as a coach, and each athlete's getting a lot of attention. Um, and yeah, I mean, if and when it gets to that point where it's like, okay, we gotta move out, we gotta find a space. There's spaces around here in the neighborhood that you know, are abandoned buildings or whatever that we could take a look at. So
This area of, you wrote in your email that you're, again, inner city Minneapolis. A lot of times when people use the term inner city, they're referring to some place that's maybe a bit rougher around the edges. Is that the case, or is that not how we should interpret inner city
no,
Minneapolis?
that's accurate. Yeah, it's one of the two poorest neighborhoods in Minneapolis.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh,
I guess I should specify that's not necessarily addressing your exact question, right? It's poor, yes, but and there, so pretty much here in North Minneapolis are kind of the two inner city areas. And yeah, there's, I mean, there's, you know, different crime. I would say our, you know, crime here is less violent per se, but there's just a lot of drug. I mean, there's shootings and, but mostly a lot of drugs and, you know, just different stuff.
and again, this is probably, it's incredible that you and your wife chose to do this, but it probably makes a lot of people scratch their head that these two people sought out what most people would see as a rough, potentially dangerous, violent, crime-ridden area is usually not on people's desirable move to list.
Sure.
But that was a deliberate choice, correct?
It was.
And what would you say is what is maybe somebody not understanding about that area, some of the positives, because most people wouldn't even want to wander in there. What's some of the good that maybe most people don't see that comes in those communities, that area, the people that are
Yeah.
walking into your gym?
Yeah. I mean, I'm really glad you asked that because every day we see beauty right in the amidst the brokenness. I mean, we're really tight with our neighbors because we help watch each other's backs. So even if just like someone from who doesn't live on our block comes by, we're kind of, you know, we're watching. It's just not creepy or anything, but just
Yeah.
like, okay, you know, just helping each other out. So that's one really beautiful thing. I mean, another thing is just when you get to know your neighbors, right? You just share life. People have been so generous with us with bringing over meals. Like we just had a baby 3 months ago, and so our
Oh,
our next door.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
Man, you got a lot going on.
yeah. It's our she's our third daughter too. So we've got a couple others. So, but yeah, I mean, our next door neighbor, she's Ethiopian. She, you know, has very often brought over home cooked Ethiopian food, just fresh, and we're just like, oh my word, like this is amazing. So yeah, our neighbors have been super generous with us, and you know, again, just sharing life together, watching each other's backs. I think uh, for me and my wife, we both grew up overseas, and you know, we have been welcomed in as strangers in a foreign land, and so that's really what we want to try to do here because this is such a big community for refugees and immigrants to land, at least at the beginning. um, and so yeah, I mean, it is very much like an upside down mentality, right? Like we came here on purpose because we felt called by God and to do so, and we really want to love our neighbors who are coming from all over the world and make them feel welcome. And yeah, I mean, we actually, this is the place my wife actually said this one time. She said, you know, out of all the places I've lived in the United States, this is the place I actually feel most comfortable, like most at
Hmm.
home, because of just there's people from everywhere, and us having grown up overseas, again, having that experience where we're in a different language, in a different culture, right? Going to local schools or whatever. Um, yeah, again, it's so good to be able to turn around and say, hey, like we want to love whoever's here, who's
You
coming.
said in a different language. How many languages do you speak?
I speak three, and I'm trying to learn Spanish. So, but it's going poco a poco, just little by little.
Hmm. What are the three you speak currently?
So English, obviously, and then Russian's my next best. Like I went to school in that, and then Uzbek, I'm conversational. So yeah, that's true.
And how are you attempting to learn Spanish? Is it the app classes? Is it people in the neighborhood? What's the program here?
Yeah, yeah, mostly just throwing up together whatever phrases I know when I talk to neighbors. We have a lot of neighbors from Spanish speaking backgrounds, and so I just try to talk with them in Spanish, and ask them to correct me, and we have conversations, slowly getting better. So maybe at some point in the future, I'll give it some more intentional attention.
Sure,
Let's
sure,
say,
yeah, yeah.
right. But
You've got enough on your
right
plate.
now with things that are going on, it's just like I'll just try to get in when I
Why not just try to learn a fourth language on top of everything
can.
else? Sure, that makes perfect sense. Man, that is very cool. I should probably ask you. You got all this stuff going on. Why did you choose BTWB for your gym?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was never even a question, to be honest. I've been using personally the workout tracking side of it since 2019,
Okay.
and yeah, never had second thoughts, never, whatever. And also too, like I do the programming for us, and it's a great tool. There's like I don't know what 12 or 15 million workouts in the thing that
Some
you can,
crazy
yeah,
number,
and you can
right?
like search based off of, oh, I want to have deadlifts and push press and not be long or whatever, those kinds of criteria. So that's been super helpful. Um, and then yeah, the billing side of the house. I mean, again, like right now I'm the only employee, right, of Upside Down Fitness, and I do everything. So it's really helpful to not have to worry about the billing and the gym management. I have my athletes sign up when they do it, and then it's all in the system, and I don't have to worry about a thing. And even too, like here uh, among our population, some people pay cash. We do a sliding scale, so I can give discounts, and that's all handled within the all-in-one. So it's really helpful. It just takes a bunch of stuff off my plate.
Man, that's cool. Well, let people know how can they find you?
Mhm.
What's the website and all that stuff.
Yep.
I'm going to make a bold assumption and that it sounds like, based on the area that you said you decided to live in, is probably not like a big vacation spot that a lot of people travel to vacation with the kids, but there are people everywhere
Sure.
traveling through. They know friends, neighbors. Hey, my cousin lives there. So
Right. Right.
where
Right.
can people find you? How can they learn more?
Yeah. Absolutely. So the website is ud-fit.com, just like how it is on my shirt right there. And my contact information, my email and phone number is on there. So feel free to reach out, hit me up.
Very cool. Do you have your story is very unique. Do you have, I mean, you're really doing it, in my opinion, what used to be more common, like we'd call, I guess, old school style now.
Sure.
Like there's a lot of people these days that feel that they need to, on day one, open the door to a 5,000 square foot space that has been outfitted with $300,000 of
Oh
wall-to-wall
my goodness.
equipment and just hope people show up. Whereas
Right.
you're like, I'm starting it with the gear that I've got in my garage
Mhm.
and we'll grow from there, which is so cool. And I hear that less and less. What would be, but that's much more accessible. Like a lot more people can do it the way that you're
Right.
doing it. What would be, you've been open a short period of time, even in this short period of time, your lessons learned?
Mm. Yeah. Great question. I think, one is just try to really focus on coaching well and figuring out how does each person, like this is something I've been asking recently, each athlete, how do you respond to coaching? What kind of coaching? Like, do you want me to just yell at you
Hmm.
really loud, or do you want me to leave you alone and let you focus? Right. Those kinds. So that would be one thing, right? Just knowing your audience. And I think that obviously goes beyond coaching, like interacting with people when they come to visit or whatever, or even people who express interest. Hey, I would love to come. You just gotta learn how to work with that person, how to talk to them, how to see them. as a person, right? As an individual, not just as a like a potential number in your gym, right?
Mhm.
And obviously, like it's probably easier for me to do that in a small setting than someone who has started a huge gym and is banking on all those numbers of people to come in, right? So I think, well, I mean, I guess even in that, there's a lesson, right? I chose to start small, and I think um, that's obviously what I'm biased towards. So I
Right.
would say start small,
I
and
like
then
it.
also yeah, and then maybe another one would be experiment, figure out what works. I mean, only you're going to know your athletes and or you're going to know your athletes the best, right? So just developing that relationship and then having the culture, right, of the gym flow out of the relationships. Don't try to force things. Like if things aren't just aren't working out with, certain athletes or whatever, it's like, okay, be willing to let them go and support them in the way that you can.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so yeah, those are some lessons.
Very cool. Hey, Tim, I genuinely wish you the best. I think, I mean, talk about doing good work for the right reasons. I mean, you are in the trenches really trying to make it happen. So, from the bottom of my heart, man, I wish you guys nothing but success out there.
Thanks, Pat. All
All
the
right.
best.
Have a good day. And yeah, say hello to your athletes for me.
Okay, we'll do. Thanks.